We've seen ups and downs. I know you don't understand the things that I've said. I just to say it anyway. I cannot put it all away. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to me. It's family time.
You know, in our world, we know that definitely to make living possible, it's always interaction with other people. So definitely, that is how.
But I think I would talk about the rejection that we are not supposed to take to heart. Like random people. Random people saying negative things about you. People who don't hold weight in your life are saying things about you, and then you take it to heart. I think that's one form of rejection that you shouldn't actually hold inside you. But if it's rejection in the form of, we have work, chasing your goals and things like that. You want to suggest your pitch to a company and what. So those forms of rejections, I think that I saw a video of Minister Sun Misola when he went on, I think it's Project Fame or The Voice.
Oh yeah, that video is a very popular video.
Yeah.
It has been on the internet for a while.
For a while. And it wasn't outright rejection, like she cannot amount to anything. They just told her she wasn't ready at the time because she was young. And rejections like that, when you go back home and because there are people in the field that you want to get to, and they've climbed higher in the ladder, and they are telling you that, oh, you are not ready, go, and then there's more room for improvement. So a rejection like that, when you go and then you listen to what they told you, your comeback is always greater.
Yeah, okay. So that means it often leads to better opportunities.
Better opportunities. So that's from people that you can see that they have your interest at heart. Yeah, and those things, I think you can work and come back stronger on them. But with regards to regular random people, I mean, sometimes the intention is to bring you back such that your soul is crushed and you don't bounce back, and that's you should be able to discern what the goal for that rejection is, and then it defines how you come back.
Okay, that is good. So welcome back to today's episode of the Talking Drum podcast. We still wanted to expand further on rejections, wanted to give some stories, relatable stories, relatable points, and strong standpoints in particular where people can use, there are templates which if you use, or it could be part of everyday life, you can read, it can be simplified, it can be absorbed. And today is the day we would try and do that for our audience so they can really understand what rejection is all about. Even not even get the whole concept of it, but it could be a seed that they can plant, and it can generally or gradually grow to become something very, very important in their life. So let's see how best we can help them.
Yeah. I was thinking about this. Rejection is usually seen as something bad or negative, but I think that for you to be really built in life, it's good that sometimes you face some rejections early in life. I am coming from a place that I didn't really see rejection growing up, because in my mind, I was that perfect child. I thought by living your life living a good way of life, not being a bad person, not being a bad girl, not always falling into trouble, being punctual in school, doing very well in your courses.
Okay, that is specifically not falling into trouble.
Not falling into trouble. So like life will be just linear and everybody will like you and you are, you're
At least that was your ideology.
that was my ideology growing up. And so because I was always making sure I was doing things the right way, even at home, you tell me to do this and I go by it. I will not go around spoiling things in the house. I'm not disrespecting, that thing. And so you are not really pushed with negative words. You are not scolded. You are not rejected in any way. It's like, oh, she's a good girl.
Yeah,
Everything.
I was quite the opposite, though.
Yeah,
Was,
but
yeah.
but you know the disadvantage of my childhood with regards to that. I mean, when it gets to a point, you grow up and you leave home, and now when you are faced with a reject, like it might be something small that somebody might be able to handle.
Yeah, because they are it's like they have equipped themselves.
They've been equipped. There's something called immunity. So back home, I mean, for some of us who worked in the health facility, when we see children, maybe 5, 4, 6 years, playing in the dust, in the sun, if you're a scientist like me, you'll be like, oh, it's good for their immune system because they will get sick anyway. But at that age, when they get sick, they build immunity for that. So when they grow up and they find themselves in a contaminated area, the severity of their infection would not be that extreme as compared to somebody who has lived in a sterile environment throughout. Those usually have, detrimental effects. So it was something like that. So when now I'm away from home and I'm living by myself, I'm supposed to be independent. In university, there are no parents there.
For sure.
And you are faced with something really hard and you have zero experience. And usually if you don't take care how you react or relate or respond to such rejections, you could enter into a stage of depression when you don't have people around you to support you. So I think it's good that at some point in your life you face certain rejections because life is not linear. It meanders around. So that is where I am coming from. But you said your experience is quite the opposite. So can you share what?
Okay, so opposite in the sense that you said you were kind of a child that was like very, very open to listening to instructions. Sit here, don't do this. I was really like the opposite, very chaotic. It's like if you give me a toy, you know that the toy has to be dismantled. I want to know what is making this. I want to know where the sound is coming from. You're being very inquisitive. I just want to explore, go out, have fun, play with other kids.
Then you used to be really beaten oftentimes.
Oh, yeah. That was... I also build immunity to that. All right. So the analytics shows us that a greater percentage of you will listen to our show haven't subscribed. So if you like this show and you really want to help us, the best free way to support us is to hit the subscribe button. And if you do so, I promise you that we, the Team on TV podcast, will make this show better for you week in, week out. We will listen to your feedback and we will continue to do what we do. Thank you. You already know it's coming, so you just prep yourself. But my mom did a good job. She used to give
it to you,
but she would just try to also make you not necessarily confine you to an area where you would shine or you would be very timid as a child, but she would still put you to the road to make sure that if I tell you to do something or necessarily go a certain way I think will help you, you should listen and you should follow accordingly. But when it comes to rejection in families, you see, we have people, a certain class of people that really didn't feel loved growing up. They didn't really feel accepted. Sometimes they really ask themselves some questions. Oh, is this really my biological mother, or let's say father, sister, or family? Am I truly part of this family setting? Because things I see, maybe from outside, from my surroundings, or maybe perhaps when I interact with other people, their experiences regarding their families, it's not really something that I can relate to mine. I wouldn't have anything to share in that setting because the things they talk about are very foreign to me. I don't know how it's supposed to feel. I don't know how I'm supposed to process it. So you see, when we talk about immunity, I really feel like people like that also build immunity to that. They really don't know how to be loved.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to love, and they don't know how to be loved. They don't know how to open themselves to receiving love,
Love from people. Yeah, that's
and
true.
also don't know how to give it back. So when they also get to a level where they now leave the home setting and go outside, they really practically in their mind, because of the neural pathways it has created in their mind, they see everybody the same and it follows the same pattern. That okay, this is what I think the world has to offer. So when it really comes to that, the roots now go deeper from where you were supposed to be formed. You see, when somebody like this, I really think that, okay, if you really encounter somebody like that as a friend or as somebody who life in another way has brought to your circle, if you had to offer only one help to this person, what would it be? Because definitely I can't streamline it to one.
Yeah.
But what would be your first method to get through that person? Because it's not like a brick wall. It's now something. I don't know if I should call it a mirage or something, but it's now you have to get through that wall, that defense, and now get to the person's mind to start rearranging things, realigning and restructuring the way the person usually breaks down or process things. What would be your first approach?
My first thing will be to pray for them. Because God is able to change all things. But beyond that, I think relating with those people, you need to have a high level of emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had to be around people like that. And because, I have not asked permission to speak about such a person, maybe I would withhold the name.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had to live with someone who, life
really has
difficult for the person, and I don't know if she'll be watching my podcast or whatever, but I didn't have that level of emotional intelligence to manage the situation. And no matter how much I tried to love her, it was I was being drained in the end.
That is the problem.
Because I didn't know how best to handle it. Of course, I was praying for her. This is somebody who has lost both parents. Life is so difficult. Family, it was
a
compounding of
whole
issues.
Specimen to be analyzed.
And so it was so difficult for me to relate. And I think what I could have done at that time was for me to invest in, knowing more about how to, live or manage with such a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I also was of the view that, when I pour to some extent, I get frustrated and I get fed up. And I'm like, okay, everybody should just go alone. So we could go 3 days not talking to each other.
The feminine effect, I call it.
And it was, females,
with egos clashing here and there.
And I think eventually we, got along to some extent. But I think what now I have probably done, I've worked more on my emotional intelligence with regards to relating and communicating with people like that. And so for what I would do currently, besides praying for the person, I think it is best not to impose anything on such people. They've lived in that kind of world all their lives. So if you want to convey a message across that, hey, open up, I want to love you, I want to get to understand. It's not difficult for them to open up, but you give them their own pace at their own time. So there are days that you try to get to have deep conversations with such people, and sometimes it will work. the days that it will work, you use that full opportunity to listen to them throughout and try to understand them without having sentiment and like without having judgmental thoughts towards them, and reassure them that they should have like they should find some form of security in you, because the moment you also break trust, I mean, this go back to coiling in. So for people who have faced serious life issues and rejections and all that, I think relating with them with patience and letting them like go according to their own pace towards changing to be someone who is free and can accept love and give love. Yeah.
Okay, that is very, 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 very touching. But I wouldn't want to bring some, let's say, research results and all that to prove anything. I would just say it randomly. But the greater percentage of what I am trying to emphasize on is that people who are really found in that setting, they are belonging to a class of people who really abuse drugs, who really get into vices, you know, like create a dopamine effect in their brains just to curb the situation,
Try
or
to
just
mask
manage
exactly
the pain or manage that situation. So we understand it to the point that, as you said, trying to get through to them, knowing that, okay, hey, I want to love you and I want to let you, you know, be very familiar or conversant with an environment where you can be you and you can also give back what is in you, because you do have it in you, but you haven't found a place where you can realize it yet. Talking about this situation, I also have someone who is still in my life that we do talk. Like, we are very close. I have a beloved that we talk, who also grew up in a setting where, you know, single mother, being raised by a single mother, really didn't have a father around at all, you know, and there was no father figure in the house. I wouldn't even want to use somebody else. Okay, let me withhold this example and use this example. So me, as a person, the first time I saw my dad, I was, I think, 10,
really
11 years old. That was the first time I saw him.
wow.
Okay, so when my mom was pregnant, she wasn't even around. She was about to travel to overseas to, you know, we really think traveling, leaving home to feed home, life cycle that a lot of Africans,
I mean, embark on, because sometimes situational demands.
That is. So my dad kind of found himself in there. Yeah, but according to what my mom, not necessarily what my mom said, I have been talking to him. We still talk. It wasn't that it was a really bad situation at home, but he wanted really a different path for himself. So I wasn't even around. The first time I saw him, I was 10.
Wow.
Okay, so if I can recount all the times I have spent with him, we've lived and have a conversation, if I have to compound everything together from till date, it's not even up to a year.
What?
It's not up to a year. So looking at this setting, you know, because he's still, so looking at my age, he has spent over 30 plus years living outside the family setting, you know, living outside his family. So now the responsibility of raising kids, which is 3 of us plus me, was the responsibility of my mom. So what does she have to do now? She has to play both roles. She has to be a mother and a dad as well. So I call her, she was a soldier. She is a soldier. Wouldn't say was, because she's still alive. Okay. So what I'm saying is that the training, she got to understand a middle ground. She knew when to be soft and she knew when to go to go crazy. I'm not necessarily saying that fathers have to go crazy for their kids to be straightened up or for their kids to know what to do. But I'm saying that there is a firmness that
Yeah.
comes with training that only fathers can give that because they understand that it is their nature. It is, what they were created to occupy or to do in the life of a child or in the life of the family as a setting. So, you see, growing up like that, I think I always say this, and I'm not shy to say it. In my family says I think I'm the most beloved child. I'm the favorite. I
Are you
always
the
say
last born?
last but one. But the one before me, I think I'm 12 years older than him.
The one, like your elder.
The one after me.
After you.
Yeah,
born.
after me, the last born. I'm 12 years older.
Male, female.
Male. Look at the gap. So that means it took a long time. So
Yeah.
like ideally, I was the baby last for 12.
Well, yeah.
So I felt like when I was treated like one. Even when he came, I was still enjoying all the privileges, and it's still the same. Even him has started to complain. So you already know. It got to a time I really got to understand I'm a mommy's boy, not because of the way I think, but the way I relate to her.
Yeah.
It got to a time that we literally have no secrets. But one thing I got to realize that when I really had to leave the home setting and also find my path as a person, it would really hit you in another way. It does really hit you. Because it got to a time when my sister was sick in our family setting that my mom had to leave home to take care of her for almost a year. She was in the hospital for that is I think
your elder sister.
yeah,
The one who got
married recently. Arguably, I think that was the most difficult time in our family because that was when everything was. My mom's businesses had to shut down. Everything had to pause. Had to be on hold because my sister wasn't really feeling well. She was bedridden. She had to learn how to walk and all that.
Wow.
It was that bad, It was that ugly. So look, I was the only one. I had to be living with other people, And when you live with someone else, they wouldn't treat you the way your mom would treat you. Now I started to, experience things differently. Sometimes I will be angry with my mom. Why? Because I think that if she was around, I wouldn't have to go through all of this and that there was this form of anger that was developing in me, not because I didn't understand the situation, but I really felt that I wanted that
presence. Yeah.
And it wasn't around at that time because she had to give it to another who needed it more than I do the last time. So I had to prime my mind to really go through that and develop as a person. And it really led to, situations I was really exposed to a lot of things. At that time, I thought a child shouldn't be exposed to. And going forward, we will really be sharing some of these things. And it was only God who had to really take care of us in that setting. But it really comes back to my point of rejection. You really feel that if you are not purely balanced in your thinking and the way you live, it's like when a father trained a boy child, is different from the way a mother would train a boy.
Yeah, that is true.
And you will see that type of balance when that person is actually delivering or living their lives. You will see the patterns. Oh, this guy has a firm level of maturity, the way he talks, the way he does his things. So it's like I had to learn a lot of things of even being a man on my own. Okay, my mother can only do, but a few. Like she could do her best to help you, to make sure you are on course. She did her best, and I'm saying that she did her best. And this is not to also, cast my dad down and try to say he made his decisions and he really played his part in making me the person I am today.
Yeah.
And I respect that. That I honestly do.
Credit.
I was really finding it hard to come to terms with that, but as I am learning every day, as I'm maturing as a man, I really understand how we get to take some decisions as we take it and how it really affects us. But I'm saying that when it comes to rejection in that form, when you really feel that there is an imbalance in you, Okay, the imbalance in your upbringing or in the way you think mentally, it can open up to a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
And how to heal from that, at times, I really feel that even to know or to accept that people should help you, you should also accept that you need help.
Acknowledge that you need help. That is true.
That is,
Yeah.
I think that is the starting point, because I got to find out that I need help because of the way I was treating this person I was going to talk about earlier. Sometimes I was being rigid. You see, when people who at least didn't grow up with a fatherly setting are in your circle and you act fatherly, the template you give them is what they accept that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is what a father
if
is.
you are not given it like the right way, it distorts their interpretation.
Exactly. So it really also like coincides with what you were saying about you being emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, building your emotional intelligence, your emotional capacity to accommodate how people feel. To know that some things will take process. You know, to accept people the way they are. To also know that in as much as situations of people might tend to be, you are not perfect yourself.
Exactly. But that is when learning and unlearning comes in. You cannot say that this is how I am, I cannot change. It affects everybody around you, your relationships. It costs you
1000%.
people. So, I mean, you mentioned that you had to learn for some things that you had to know that you didn't get it growing up. You had to take that decision to learn them yourself. And I think at this point, it is important to let our viewers know you don't get stuck where you are, that this is how I was raised. This is you've decided to probably get married to someone and you've been with the person for 5 years. The person keeps complaining this part, and you keep saying, "This is how I am."
You've hit something
with no intention to try to learn and unlearn. I think it is very important.
Personal growth and development.
Even if it wasn't your fault, the reason and how you were trained and the experiences that shaped your growing up, it's still not too late to learn and unlearn. And you learn through books, through having fatherly figures, probably mentors, coaches, books. We have books surrounding us all around. You should be someone who is willing to learn, watching videos, looking for people, influential people in your life that have wisdom, that you've been called to align with them and learn from them. I think sometimes you don't have, now everything is available. You don't have to go out of your room to
information
learn.
Is now, look, I think we are, even in as much as there are a lot of problems in the world, okay, there are a lot of problems, all right, I think we are in the best age where information, knowledge is readily available without struggle.
Yeah. So I think that is an important message to put across.
Okay, so I am saying that even as you would have to face outside rejection, okay, there should be that balance in you. And that is what we are talking about. For you to feel that you are fully balanced, there is a balance in you, spiritually, physically, mentally. Now you can face the outside world, because you cannot fight two wars at the same time. Which one would you win? You have to fight the war within yourself, settle that, and now know that, okay, you are now strong and equipped enough with, all the arsenal of weapons you need to win the war out there.
Yeah.
So the war in you is about you finding the perfect balance. When you face any form of rejection, we've said it here, it's necessarily about acknowledging that you need help. It could be a trait. It could be a character trait. Some people would say, oh, I'm always angry. I learned something about anger. That it took me 27 years to know that, okay, I could learn this and put it into practice. Now, I think I really thought I was this kind of person. Okay, this is my method. I would say that when I'm angry, I'm slow to anger, but I explode. When I have it, I just explode and I'll just deflate. That's all.
Which kind of anthem is that? I explode and I
would deflate. So the thing is, you see, anytime a balloon explodes, it deflates. So it will be and it's like a friend of mine said this. He's like, why would we always do something before we think? You do it before you think. Why? But you see that little space we are talking about, that is that little space between doing and thinking. That is what defines character.
Yeah, it's true.
That little space.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, you walk to this studio, you walked in. The moment you walked in, you see my face. It's like a cloud. Rain is coming. Rain. Yeah. So you just see me and I say, and good morning. I didn't respond. I'm about to come and work with this guy. We are about to work and I just said something and he didn't even respond. You might ignore that. Okay, Nyame, good morning. Good morning. Okay, AJ, sorry to say, respect. You are very stupid. Or like, I just tell something. Perhaps I know your buttons. I push it. That thin line between
space.
That thin line between. What should I say to this boy?
This thing happened to me this week. The first thing got on my.
I know who pushed your buttons. You see, one thing about this. You want to. You know something? Sometimes, okay, you would be that when you go to work or you find yourself in a certain space, these people, they can't get to me. There's nothing my manager or my boss will say.
It's a lie.
But the people that you really love, okay, the people that you really that have this emotional space in your life, they can push your buttons.
They can do something.
And you'll be like,
I'm like, and something like, the person who do it and has moved on. And then I'm waiting for you to acknowledge what you did. And no, 1 day has passed, 2 days, 3 days. I'm like, God, so this is the person.
The person is not thinking the way you are thinking. Like,
no.
Why are you giving me this attitude? Don't you know what you have done?
Don't you know what they have no idea.
They have no idea that you. So the thing is, that little space between doing and thinking, that is what defines character, as I said. Okay. Sometimes people are, I don't know if you've studied this about New Yorkers. Let us digress a little bit.
Okay.
I think for me, I have made a final adjustment. I wouldn't say I would judge everybody with this, but I think New Yorkers are naturally pissed off people. New Yorkers, oh my goodness. They are, you see the word I'm using? I'm choosing my words carefully. They are naturally pissed off people. It's like, they are naturally pissed off. In the morning, they wake up and they are mad.
They're just waiting for you to press the button.
I know what I'm talking about because I experience it firsthand every week because of the work I do. I interact with them and I have to be there 8 o'clock in the morning. So 8 a.m. I'm saying good morning. You see
what
the
is
reception.
Good about that morning?
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, help me. I will share a funny story. I don't even know how to say this. So I gave a lady's receipt to her. Okay. So it was a lot of receipts. So I just had to give one receipt to her. Mind you, I think she bought some items. I made sure everything was good. I gave it to her. I was looking at the receipt. I was like, why am I looking at her receipt? I'm looking at the receipt.
It was already with you before you had.
So I had to make sure everything was good before I gave you the receipt. She was like, you are looking at the receipt as if you are going to pay for it. Never look at somebody's receipt. Said that in cursing me out. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm saying it politely, but that's not how it sounded. I don't want to. I don't even want to use the accent and start putting it. But I think they are naturally pissed off people. Yeah. Do you know why? Because what I'm saying is,
I think something shapes that.
Something shapes that. That is where I'm coming to.
New York is different from other states.
Sometimes people really feel like, the level of frustration, that is what I'm coming at. That's where I'm coming at. You see, somebody like this, I'm very, very sure the woman I encountered, somebody had already pissed her off. Mm-hmm. She's going through her own thing. And she meets me. And I didn't even do nothing wrong.
You ignorantly looked at her receipt.
Innocently. Trying to see I gave her the right one. That is what I actually did. And it was like, oh, you see the explosion. That means they are dumping their frustrations and everything that they are going through on you. So somebody like, if I don't really understand where they are coming from, I would fuel into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one. We were kind of going, we were not even going back and forth. He was giving me his opinion. And I was like, oh, sir, that is not how it's supposed to be. So if you'd also listen to my opinion to see how, he was like, no, I don't need to listen to you. You are black. Why should I listen to you? I don't need to listen to you. My opinion. I was like, you don't need to listen to me. So how will we come to an understanding? But I looked at that person. That person felt frustrated. You could feel it in their voice and their thinking. So I think, like, you see, that little gap, I really feel like anger is something that has already accumulated in you. And if you really explode, it's like you're trying to dump your frustration, and you're trying to dump your anxiety, all your issues on another person. You are using the person as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like me going crazy on AJ.
It's true. I think, usually if it's something that you've accumulated over time, that, cause, what I'm trying to relate it to as a scripture that what you've compounded in your heart, what overflows in your heart.
So out of the abundance of the heart,
the mouth speaketh. This week I had it wasn't a confrontation, like I don't know what it was. I mean, to me it wasn't a confrontation. It was something that I thought I was just trying to put across, and the person was like, what? I won't listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm like, come on. Just listen. I was, no, I won't listen. You see, there was a time that, I think
I used to be like that too.
Back in Ghana or whenever, I've forgotten, it was something like that, confrontation or like that with a co-worker. And the person was like, this thing, you always do it. So this is your attitude. I won't listen to you. I'm like, oh, okay, wait. We can solve this right here. It means I've been doing something to you.
And
why have you made it? Because to me, I didn't know that I was hurting you. So it's now that the way he was acting was like he was coming at me to beat me at the workplace. I was like, wait, I'm just trying. No, you always do this. This is what you always do.
You're coming to beat Atom.
And I'm like, okay, the fact that you've mentioned this means that
you have something to work on. You have
something against me that I've been doing to, but why haven't you said? And the person all of a sudden like calmed down and sat down. And he was like, yes, I've been battling with this. Anytime you say this to me,
it really triggers
something. And I think where he's coming from some part of the northern part of Ghana.
Oh my goodness.
And so he was like, from his tribe, women do not, speak in such a way. But we those on the southern parts, I say that to men of
even with the southern part, you have the western part. That is different.
So
like,
So I didn't know, and he calmed down. He was like, no, so if you said you pressed my button, I was like, I am so sorry. I had
no idea.
And from that day, we became like besties.
Shout out to your bestie.
Not bestie, but like that's what I'm trying to. We became cool.
I get what you mean. What I'm saying is, you see that thin line. Look, we always talk about it, but when it's like, this is the theory. I always say, talk is cheap. We have something that if it be
the
easy,
work is on the
if
ground.
It be easy, do you get it? Like, we will talk about it and be like, okay, I wouldn't want it to seem that we are sitting here and saying things that we are not victims of.
Yeah,
we are saying it because we are working on them, and we have resource to know that it works. And this is how maybe if you try to emulate, is going to help you. So we are not here saying it or trying to.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes there are sometimes that I make sure like somebody gets on my nerves, and I'll keep calm.
Yeah,
keep calm. And I will go through that perfectly and pass that test. The next day,
you fail woefully. Do you know why I say you fail woefully? This thing I've said, I failed last week. These stories I'm sharing. These stories I'm sharing right now. It was just last week. Fresh stories. These stories are very exclusive. Fresh
from the oven.
You see, like, when the guy said, I don't want to speak to you. you don't need to talk. I don't need to hear nothing from you. He made a comment. Is when he made that comment.
Yeah, that thing just hits
Look,
you to the chest.
I wouldn't say, look, my mind was trying to tell me that, oh, it didn't hit. But I know that it hit.
You came back to the bathroom and you were like, hey, Charlie, it's me, pan.
Look, it hit. I was trying to, I even said something, but I said it in a polite way. I was like, look, don't say anything. It's the person's opinion. The person's opinion of you. I was even trying to preach to myself. Yeah, the person's opinion of you doesn't matter. I was like, it hits. Like, I was like, I felt I'm human. I was like,
it hits.
It really hit me to the point that I was like, and you see what I talked about, like, being
Inflated.
I would inflate and explode, and I would just deflate. It was boiling in me. It was boiling in me. It was boiling, and I kind of like held the tip of it so that it wouldn't come out. So I felt like, this thing is not something that has left me. It is still there. But if I constantly work on it, because I'm creating new neural pathways in my mind, now I can curb it. But I didn't say I was congratulating myself because I didn't explode. I'm saying that I now have the awareness that, okay, this thing is there. So you would always also need to have the awareness to control it. Yes. Anytime you see it's getting there, you know that as the inflation is about to happen, just punch holes in the thing so that it wouldn't even inflate, so that it will have to explode. I'm saying that you can be angry. You have the right to be. Solomon, the wise king, wrote it in his excerpts in the book of Proverbs that you can be angry, but don't let your anger lead you to sin. So that means that you can really feel it in you. Yeah. But that little gap is what you are talking about. The actual thinking process to know that, okay, this word that is coming out of my mouth. It is beautiful in this sense. We as a human race have been able to tame any kind of wild animal. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know if it is the smallest organ in our body, the tongue. We have not been able to tame the tongue.
It's pretty small, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's not arguably. Look at this little organ. It has been able to, this thing has actually designed our realities. Mm-hmm. And we really don't give importance to it. Yeah. This thing, it can reprogram your whole destiny, your whole existence, your whole work frame. This has the power to do all of that. Mm-hmm. And we use it without even knowing the importance of
implications.
And we don't even understand the power it carries. So with that to say, that little gap, we should always try to find it. We should always try to find it. So if you are listening to us, let's make it a point to find that little gap. I know someone would say, me niabotre.
Meaning I don't have patience.
I would say this. I would mention the person's name. Me at times I will mention the person who haven't beat me. Edna would say,
hey, Edna, this is a big shout out to you.
Yeah, I talk to Edna all the time.
I'm not talking to her. So
I know why the reason why you're not talking to her. But that is
speaking terms.
Look, Edna would say, I'll give you the same energy.
No, the other time she said, what did she say when we're in the car?
On Sunday.
It's like, me, my one Jimmy. We are selling you out today. Don't worry. I'm already not talking to you, so I don't care.
That, I will not let you misbehave. But I'm saying that, what is misbehavior in your books? That is the question I'm coming to.
That's the thing. Because who defines that misbehavior?
So it's like, some people will be like, she did something. I'll tell you off. When we came, it was because it was 3 of us left. It was me and Junior. So
now we could see,
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what she did. It was very funny. I didn't want to see. But with that saying, I'm saying that there should be a little gap. The little gap is where we should actually process things. It's hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not a one-day work. Mm-hmm. This thing I'm saying took almost a lifetime. I'm still working on it. It's work in progress. It's not something that you'd say you would start today and tomorrow you would master it. To master something, it takes years of work, years of experience, years of and if you want to be patient, if you pray to God for patience, it wouldn't drop from heaven like manna. what would happen is that you will be in situations where you need to practice your patience.
Exercise the patience. There's no patience if you've not encountered confrontation. And
If you hear somebody with no manners, no values at all, talk to you in a certain way, somebody will say, if it is not because of crap, if it is, that thing is still there. Work on it. It's not because of crap. You know.
And for some of us, some of us in academia, academia is a very nice place to be. I mean, the schools, especially, in America, because everybody respects each other. You would never find those No, it doesn't happen on campus. I mean, students respect their professors respect students. And so if you are always in a setting like that, you think you are like someone who is patient, law-abiding citizen.
Oh.
You don't like to fight.
Get to the streets of you get
Come
to the
streets of Bronx.
It's different. They would just give you a different analogy of life, and I think it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good because you get to understand people and know that, look, the fact that you think this way doesn't mean everybody also thinks like you. So you have to be in a certain way you can accommodate everybody and learn to live in peace. So I really think this segment is a segment we really digressed a little bit on anger, and I think it's all part of you even being balanced as a person. So it's not actually something that wasn't necessary for us to talk about. So this is a segment of the Talking Drum podcast where we really establish facts on rejection. And going forward, we would also want to bring you the latter part in how you would need to address, as we have actually talked about you addressing the war inside. Now we would have to move on to the segment where you have actually found the ground to win the war inside and now to conquer the war outside. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching today's episode, and we want to say a big shout out to everybody whose name was mentioned. We love you. These stories inspired, it teaches us. That is the reason why we are doing this, so that we can all grow and mature as people. So what do you need to say to our viewers?
I think today we've said it all. I mean, it was a very interactive segment, and we keep on trusting that you'll share the videos when they come out, and you'll keep on liking them. And the next time we'll meet you, we are going to talk about
winning the war outside of rejection. So knowing how to actually use rejection as a tool to better yourself, and how you can win the war out there, which also leads to public opinion, the weight of it. So we are going to I think we will get to the apex, the climax of rejection, and we will now look at the weight of public opinion, so we can also know how to grow from there. So.
All right, I think we're going to sign off.
Yeah, that's it. So that's from me and our esteemed AJ. We say thank you for tuning into the Talking Drum podcast, and see you on the next episode. Peace.